No. No.
Sarge, why don't you and I go outside, do our paperwork?
Cody, look at me. I think it was you that killed Sandra.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Chess and Media. I'm Sarah Herman, a former USCF chess expert who likes to use my decade of experience playing competitive chess to pick apart chess episodes and chess scenes in TV and movies. The Mentalist has been one of the most requested videos that I have gotten so far, and it's not one that I grew up watching. Unlike shows like Monk and House, this was the first time I ever watched The Mentalist. Now, it's very similar to the shows we've looked at so far, at least Bones, Monk, and House, where the premise is a sort of super genius in their field, but he seems to be more of a super genius in general that translates to everything. Spoilers for just basically the first episode if you haven't seen it, but the premise of the show is our main character, Patrick Jane, used to be a television psychic, so one of these people who basically scams people who are in their most vulnerable state, pretending to be able to communicate with dead relatives. Really what he was doing was picking up on social cues, body language, and then telling people in their most vulnerable state what they wanted to hear, convincing them that he has supernatural powers. He's so good at this, in fact, that he has everyone convinced and recruited him to help them on a serial killer case called Red John. He calls Red John out on television and insults him, which results in Red John targeting his wife and child. This introduces the first cliche of The Mentalist, which is the I miss my dead wife cliche, where he gets to be basically free and doesn't have any of the responsibilities of being a husband and father, but he still gets to be lovable and seem like a family man. Throughout the entire series, or at least up until season 2 when I watched the chess episode, there's a back and forth where he's trying to catch this Red John. This show loves using chess to signify intelligence. In fact, chess appears in several different episodes. The main episode we're looking at today is season 2, episode 21, titled 18-5-4. This episode heavily features themes of math as well. The meaning of this title again comes back to Red John. The 18th letter of the alphabet is R, the 5th letter of the alphabet is E, and the 4th letter is D. Once again, referencing Red John, which they do in basically every episode. The opening scene and the setup for this episode shows a man in distress. It seems like he's being followed by something. He tries to escape by cutting through some trees, but unfortunately hits a dead end, and we see that he's actually being chased by a clown. The clown shoots him, cuts off his finger, which I'm not going to show because it was like, I don't even mind gore, but it was hard to watch. Bringing us to our investigation where Patrick Jane and Teresa Lisbon find out that someone says they heard a gunshot and then saw a clown fleeing the scene.
Says a clown shot him in the back, cut off his finger.
Clown? Which finger?
Right index.
Did the killer take the finger with him?
Looks that way.
And this brings them to gather a few suspects. There can't be that many people who fit the description, right? So unfortunately, the killer's a bit smarter than they first thought. They actually organized like a clown meetup in order to make a really easy escape.
Keeping the clowns, are you?
I have to shoot her through. I don't want him slipping away.
Too late. He slipped. These ones are just a smokescreen.
They start questioning the clowns on the scene, but I don't understand why they don't just pack them all in a police car and take them down to the station. So they take their investigation to the obvious next step, which is the wife.
My brother was a mathematical genius.
What did he do for a living?
Oh, he published a few papers in mathematical journals.
But one day it would have paid off. I know it would. And in the meantime, pretty much lived on my waitressing.
Speaking of money and not getting paid for your work, as you all know, these videos have been getting falsely claimed by the companies who own the TV shows, even though it falls under fair use. But thanks to today's sponsor, Rocket Money, that's no longer a problem. Now, I've actually personally been using Rocket Money for my personal finances for over 5 years at this point. I originally downloaded Rocket Money for the feature where they cancel subscriptions for you in the app. They show you all the subscriptions that you have that you may have forgotten about. And as we've talked about before on this channel, there are a lot of websites that rely on you forgetting that you are actually subscribed and giving them money monthly or even yearly. It's an incredibly popular business model to just hope people don't cancel. Sometimes these apps even make it incredibly complicated and difficult just to cancel, almost like a gym membership, but Rocket Money does the work for you, which cuts out a lot of the stress. Recently, however, I've been trying to get back into playing competitive chess, and if any of you play competitive chess, you know how expensive it is. What with the entry fee, the traveling, taking off work, and don't even get me started about the hotel costs. With Rocket Money, you can easily create personal budgeting goals and see exactly where your money is going. Rocket Money is completely free to download, but if you use my link, you can get a free premium trial. Go to rocketmoney.com/Zephcat with 2 T's to get started for free, or scan the QR code or find the link in the description. Thanks again so much to Rocket Money for sponsoring today's video. It turns out that he was a brilliant mathematician who, unlike Patrick Jane, his brilliance comes with quite a few quirks.
Finished high school at 15, got his first degree in like 2 years, but he wasn't good with people.
So, given that, we can assume that he was a chess player.
Noah had his quirks.
Oh, look at that! There's a chessboard right there. Looks like there's a pawn on a dark square on the A file, so there should be a pawn on A5. And then right in front of that is a pawn on A4, and diagonally adjacent is a pawn on B3. It's interesting because the thing over here looks like it could be a pawn or a bishop. Like, it looks like it has a little spot on its head, but it's also shorter than White's bishop. We can change it later if we get another angle, but for now let's put a pawn there. There's a rook on C7, a rook on E7, queen directly behind that on E8, and then the king, because there looks like there's a light square behind him, I think he's not on F7, I think he's on G7. There's a white pawn in front of the black rook. There is a queen, 2 squares behind the pawn, bishop here, so sort of pointing towards the king. White's king could be anywhere in this general area. It looks pretty close to the queen and the bishop, so I'm gonna guess it's here. Is that a rook next to the king? I'm gonna put the rook here and the king here. I might have to set this up on a real board to see if this makes sense from this angle. I believe there's a pawn on G5 and a rook on F6, but I could be wrong. I'm gonna set this up on my board and shoot from this angle and see if it makes sense. Okay, so I feel like the camera is about here, and this looks pretty good. Although the only adjustment I might make is put the rook back here. That doesn't really work either. Maybe it's my camera angle that's wrong. If I adjust the pieces like this, can I make it look like that? Okay, I'm fairly confident this is good enough. So I'm pretty decently sure that this is at least accurate enough that it's not going to change the position if it's a little different. The one thing that could, like, this pawn could be here or here, but I don't know how much that really matters because white is absolutely dominating black in this position. In fact, if it's white's turn, Queen H7 is mate in 1, which means that if Noah was white here, he was 1 move away from winning the game. It turns out he's been playing chess with someone named Tolman, who owns like a game store, so they go down to question him.
A few years ago, I published a book on number puzzles, and shortly after Noah emailed me, he'd solved all the puzzles, of course, but he'd also found a few logical flaws in 2 of them. That's when I realized that I had to have a person of his intellectual caliber in my orbit. Soon after that, we started playing a regular game of chess.
But he has this glass chess set sitting on his counter with allegedly the same position that we just saw in Noah's house. To me, this position looks like a very different one than the one that was in Noah's house. It's a hideous glass chess set again, but it does seem like there's some key differences. Like the king is actually on E1. The pawn was actually back here on the H file, and there's a pawn on G2. This pawn is still here, but there's no rook. Kind of looks like a knight to me. I know that I'm just like guessing, but it could be a rook. The king is actually back on G8. The queen is on F8. I don't know where this rook is. And I think there's even a black pawn on H6. So even if I got the original position very wrong, I didn't get it so wrong that I missed all of these key things about the position. I think they just set up 2 different positions. Either way, whether there's a knight or a rook here, wherever the rest of the pieces truly are, black is losing.
Was this the game that you were playing with Noah?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Yeah, I think he might have had you.
You play.
Oh, a little.
We should have a game sometime.
That works. I'll open with pawn to C4.
Pawn to E6.
Knight to F3.
Pawn to D5.
Declining the gambit, interesting.
What gambit? Before black played the move d5, there was no legal capture on the board. In chess, an opening gambit is when one side gives up usually a pawn, sometimes a piece, to get like faster development or better board control, like something non-material in exchange, but it's always giving up material. Black could not take, there's no legal capture, so I don't know.
Pawn to D4.
Oh, really?
Scout's honor.
You're gonna regret that open.
We'll see.
Ah yes, the Queen's Gambit. This is what the Queen's Gambit looks like, by the way, if you've only seen the show The Queen's Gambit. That's what this opening is. Super risky. One of the most common, solid things you can do. He's gonna regret that.
You sure you want to stick with that open?
Why not?
Knight to f6.
Knight to c3.
Bishop to e7.
Your funeral.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for stopping by.
By the way, bishop g5. Mind your queen.
What? Mind your queen? This one that's buried behind several pieces? It's not even a pin. At least if the bishop weren't on e7, it would be pinning the knight to the queen. But here that's not even true. Back at the station, Patrick has set the position up on an actual board. So it's more like correspondence chess at this point rather than blindfold chess. And Tolman sends him a message.
Kingside Castle.
As he leans toward his doom.
Ah yes, going towards your doom. Getting your king out of the center. The thing you do to get out of doom.
It's the game of kings.
Kings with too much time on their hands.
Chess is a game with kings. There's kings on the board.
Hey boss, Daphne Delicate on too. She sounds free.
Daphne?
You have to come. There's somebody inside my house. I called as soon as I saw the door.
It's all right. Just take it easy.
I was gone less than an hour. I should have called the police. I know.
Hey guys, you need to see this.
In the upstairs bedroom, there was a safe that has been unlocked, but nothing seems to have been taken out of it.
That's a high-end sensor lock. It's gonna be tough to bust into.
I'll call tech services. Tell them we need a locksmith.
Don't bother. I found the key.
Why would she pick that up with her bare hands? Like, okay, I know nothing about forensics or whatever, but like, okay, maybe don't touch that. So they open the safe and the only thing that's in there is a little wooden chess set and a Spider-Man comic. So like someone breaks into the house, obviously the killer because they had his finger. Why would they hide it under the bed? Like if you were gonna discard it, why not just like toss it to the side? Like why hide it? If you're gonna hide it, take it with you. It's all very strange.
What I find is interesting is that the chess set that your husband has set up on the table is expensive, and this one, on the other hand, is made in China. Not so expensive.
I have the exact same chess set, and it is like pretty rinky-dink, and I don't really like it. I just got it because I left my chess set in Colorado and I needed one. But people who play chess a lot hardly ever like these little sets or fancy sets. Like you want the classic standard chess set with the nice plastic pieces, plastic board, that you can clearly see what the pieces are, and then there's no fancy stuff. What do you need that for? You just want to play the game.
So one has to wonder why he had the cheapo set hidden away so carefully, unless... there's something inside. Locker key. Locker 42.
Well, no wonder someone was after this. He's got the key to the meaning of life hidden in his chess set. Okay, so I'm editing right now and I've just fallen down a little bit of a rabbit hole because not only is 42 the key to the case, I noticed that the episode is also 42 minutes long and 42 seconds long, and it's also the 42nd episode in the series. So I have a feeling there's a lot of Easter eggs in this episode that we have to keep an eye out for. Just putting that out there. So they have this key, but they don't know where it goes or what it's for. But they get another clue as Noah had been emailing someone named Beast Slayer, which they traced back to Tolman.
Oh, Mr. Jane, did you come here to concede the game?
Not at all. Bishop takes e7.
Interesting.
Okay, so either we missed something really important or they're losing track of the position in their minds, which sometimes happens when playing blindfold. And you only really lose the game if your opponent realizes that you lost track. But Jane jumps over the knight and plays bishop takes e7. The only interesting thing about this move is that it's illegal. If this move was played, like maybe the bishop came from over here, there's one response. This is not a move you think, you just recapture. There's only one thing to recapture with. If you don't recapture, you're losing material. Not interesting.
Why don't we step into my office? Puzzle making and breaking is the preeminent security issue of our day, and I run a consulting firm that deals specifically with those issues.
Who do you work for?
We're not prejudiced. Whoever needs us.
What was Noah doing for you?
That's delicate.
It turns out that in the back of this rinky-dink puzzle shop, Tolman has a full secret operation going, and he had hired Noah for a special task.
I was grooming Noah for a pet project, something special. A device that could decipher virtually any encrypted information.
The universal hack.
Well, that's the crude way of calling it. I identified 3 people that I thought could pull it off, and Noah was one of them. I offered each one of them $2 million.
$2 million sounds like way too low of a number for what he's describing. I feel like if this were possible, it would be the most sought after thing ever. If you could just hire some math nerd, like a regular math nerd, to make this thing, I feel like it would have been made by now.
Last week, Noah called me and told me that he had built the device, but that he wasn't going to give it to me.
Why?
He said he had second thoughts.
Look at the numbers on the wall behind Tolman right here. I know that it's a 916, and then from this other shot earlier in this scene, we know that the fourth number is a 4. Now, I don't know what this number means, but the 6-4 makes me think of chess, because 64 is the number of squares on a chessboard, and I feel like maybe they're trying to tell us something. I can't really figure out what this means, like 9 minus 1 is 8, and 8 goes into 64 8 times, like, I'm not really sure, but we can't see the rest of the numbers in this scene, so I think we have to wait to figure out what this means.
He was worried about the device falling into the wrong hands.
That doesn't worry you?
I'm a businessman, not a moralist.
Because I found a locker key at Noah's house, very well hidden. A locker 42.
Interesting. Do you have any idea where that locker is?
We're looking.
Well, if you find it, you must let me know. Because that device is mine. Oh, Mr. Jane, before I forget, Queen to E7.
Oh yeah, I forgot we were playing a game of chess. Okay, he finally plays queen takes E7 and just recaptures. I don't know what he was thinking about. There's no other move that makes sense.
Taking your bishop.
So there were 2 other people working on this project for $2 million to make something that could destroy the world, essentially. One of them is actually on an involuntary hold at a mental institution. So there's no way he killed Noah, but he still might have some useful information. Wait a minute, we know him. He was the young Grandmaster Prodigy in the episode of Monk that we looked at.
Mr. Tavalla, do you have a minute?
A little busy at the moment.
You're Tavalla?
Evan Peters is who they choose to play the young Grandmaster, and I can only assume that this is where he got his start depicting creepy weirdos. Maybe Monk and the Mentalist are in the same universe, and we already established that House and Bones are in the same universe. So the kid in the House episode beats his opponent with the clock, grows up and becomes a chess bum, and Evan Peters was driven insane by his intelligence or whatever. Maybe they're all in the same chess universe. We just have to find the connection.
Oliver Simon McDaniel. Your file says that you finished college at 16, graduate school at 19, and you were sent here after nearly choking your father to death.
He's not my father. He's a cyber clone sent by the Galactic Quantum Lords.
Oh, them. You know, they're always up to something shady.
Yes, they're trying to drive me mad. But they won't succeed.
But I'm rejecting that premise. In my headcanon, he actually beat his dad with a clock, because, like, nothing else really makes sense.
Have you heard about Noah?
I did. Sad. Can you do a shiatsu massage?
No. The visitor log says he's the only person who came to see you. How did you know him?
Grad school. I felt sorry for him. He was a little off. My guess was radiation.
We understand that you were working on a problem for Tolman Bunting?
Yeah, my doctors wanted to nix it, but I convinced them it was good therapy. Don't touch that!
How are you doing with him?
Fine.
So Evan Peters was also working on this project, but he didn't get very far at all, which is understandable. It should be quite difficult.
Do you have any idea where that locker could be?
Sir, I'm a mental patient. I don't know anything. Nobody does. But see, I know I don't know. Paradox.
They show Evan the key, and he acts like he doesn't know what it's for, but as they leave, he somehow escapes, presumably to go find the locker and the device. Lisbon gets a tip that there is a plane ticket in Evan's name at a nearby airport, and most of the agents assume he's trying to flee, but Patrick has another idea, of course.
He's ticketed on a flight to Brazil. Joe and Riggsby are on their way to the airport now, so...
He asked you for a massage. Flight's a misdirect.
How can you be so sure?
The sound machine in his bedroom was tuned into the ocean. That, and the fact that room 644 has already ordered 6 cans of SpaghettiOs from the concierge. You can't arrest him yet.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. He escaped because he knows the location of the device, and if we follow him, he will lead us right to it. Rook to B8. Or deleted. Bishop to C4.
So they follow Evan down to the pier and are keeping a close eye on him. And their hope is that he'll lead them straight to the device. Someone else has the same idea though, and is also tracking Evan.
Who was that?
I don't know.
Watch Oliver, Joe, come on.
So definitely not Tolman in a hat breaks into the locker, but gets chased away immediately by the CBI. Patrick follows and sees that the locker is actually empty, and the key doesn't even fit. So instead of it being literally locker number 42, he comes up with the idea that it's like the location of the locker. So he goes across 4 and then down 2. And of course the device is in there. The first thing he tried worked, even though it was just a guess. Like 4 and 2 could be a lot of different things, especially given a mathematician. Like it could be an endless number of different codes, or I don't know, something more interesting than that, I feel.
You're in trouble. We've got a big handful of felonies for what you did at the pier today, and we are this close to nailing you for the murder of Noah Valaquette.
Really?
Really? Clown costume, the ad? Sounds like the work of a man who likes to play games, doesn't it?
Hey, boss. AG's on the phone. This is urgent.
Oh, do me a favor. And tell Mr. Jane, queen to D8. Queen to D8. Thank you.
So obviously it's a lost cause to continue looking at the game, but I am still doing it just in case at some point we see another position and it helps. But okay, queen to D8. We don't even know what white is playing.
I'll talk to the girls at the strip club. Someone's gotta remember I was there.
He speaks the truth, Joe. Oliver here would have trouble killing a light beer, much less Noah Valaquette.
That's not accurate. I could mess you up badly if I wanted to.
But you don't want to. Before we let you walk out the door, I need a favor.
Not a chance.
Consider it. It'll give you a chance to work with this. And then when you're done, a little gift from the Planetary League.
This is exactly how my dog looks at me when I offer him a bone.
Rook takes F6. Your very friendly assistant let me in.
I hate when they never tell you which rook. In notation, you're supposed to say which rook. Rook A to F6 or rook H to F6. They're both, like, very reasonable moves.
Rook takes F6. King to G8. What are you doing here?
Now we can finally see the full sequence of numbers. It's 9, 1, 6, 4, 2, 7, 3, 5, 4 as one number, so 54, and then a 0. Now this could be like just all of the numbers 1 through 10 lined up in random order, but I'm gonna give them a little more credit. First of all, the number 42 is prominently in the middle of all these numbers. And I thought back to the scene where Patrick counted over 4 and then down 2 to find the locker. And I was thinking, could I apply that to a chessboard? Okay, so for my first guess on what this means, because the numbers are surrounded by first a 9 and then a 0, I think that on a chessboard, because it goes 1 through 8, it's like directions. On the top is 9 and the bottom is the 0. And in between, maybe if we place things on their individual squares that correspond with the numbers, something will happen. I'm just gonna pick a piece at random. Let's start with pawns, I guess. So from 9, if we go down 1, the first square it's a 1, so I'll put 1 there. And then we go down another, it's a 6. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Down another, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Wait a minute. You know what this is reminding me of? This is like the 8 queen problem. There is a really famous like puzzle. I've given this to like kids as homework for chess, but you have to place 8 queens on the board at the same time and have none of them be able to attack the other. So no contact between any of the queens. And so far this looks like maybe one of the answers. Pause the video here and try to solve it yourself first before we see it. This is crazy. There's no way this works. So I'm gonna change them to queens. So queen, 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 queen. Then we go to 7, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It still works. They're still not attacking each other. Okay, and then go down 1, 2, 3. It still works? What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Damn. This is how it always goes, and then at the bottom it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looked really close. I mean, this looks like some attempts I've seen before at the puzzle, but this didn't work. You know what game has a 9x9 board? Shogi, Japanese chess. So I went on over to leeshogi.org and opened another board editor. Now there are no queens in Shogi, so I'm just gonna pick like the coolest looking piece on my board for people who don't really know how to play Shogi. And we'll just pretend those are queens. And I'm gonna try the same thing. So the first number is a 9, so I'm gonna put that down here. The second number is a 1, so that goes here. The third number is a 6. The fourth number is a 4. The second number is 2. This would work for the queen thing so far still. The sixth number is a 7. Haha. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still works. The seventh number is a 3. Still, this is, oh wait, it's not quite working because of the diagonal. The eighth number is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And the ninth number is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So clearly there's no pattern like we thought there was going to be. And I was sitting here looking at this endlessly and I couldn't figure out what it was I was actually looking at. But then I realized something. The Little Dipper has 7 stars, so that's another number we can use as a hint. And I also know that the Little Dipper is a kiddie ride at Six Flags. But like 76, what does that mean? Oh wait. No, it can't be. I can't have done all of this just to get this. It's not 6, 7. It can't be. Wait a minute. 6 times 7 equals 42.
I came by to see if Noah's doohickey here actually works.
That's it?
Yes.
So he did build it.
Yes, and I'm here to return it. For $2 million, of course.
You expect me to pay you?
Well, not me, no. But its rightful owners.
So Jane brings in Noah's wife and his brother, as he believes they are the rightful owners of the $2 million. But Tolman is still suspicious and wants to make sure that the device actually works.
I think we first have to make sure that this thing works. That was part of our arrangement.
What does that mean?
It means that it's not working.
Try it again, because my husband's a genius. It has to work.
Okay, fine. It's working. It's working.
What the hell?
Turn it on.
No, wait.
Turn it on.
Wait. It's right, isn't it?
Of course not.
So while she does get it to work, she ends up regretting it because Noah left a message from beyond the grave. He knew what she was planning.
I had Oliver change the settings so it wouldn't work, but you knew how to change them back.
So Daphne knew about the deal, she knew about the device, and most importantly, she knew about the money. That's what she wanted all along. She got tired of their relationship as it lacked romance and excitement. And she got very angry when he decided not to give the device, and she felt screwed out of that money.
He said I wasn't able to understand the implications, so I decided to show him I could be smart too.
And it was all because of the implication.
Oh, Mr. Jane. Perfect timing. Pawn to f4.
So now we get to see the end of the game and one of the final positions we reach. And this is what it looks like. From what I can tell, the king is on h8, and the last move we heard was king g8, so that could explain what's about to happen.
Maybe you're here for more than just to pin my queen.
Given Daphne's condition, ownership of the device goes to Noah's brother. But when I contacted Rafe, he wanted nothing to do with it. So according to my attorneys, that passes the device to me.
I hope you don't mind. I did have a little fiddle with it. I just wanted to see how it worked.
Oh.
Easily fix that, imagine. Tolman, one last thing.
Patrick picks up the bishop on d3, and then we get like a really good shot of the board, and he plays bishop c4, hanging his queen. The last move that Tolman played was f5, attacking the queen, and also the king's on g8 in this shot, and then Patrick plays bishop c4, it zooms back out, and the king is back on h8.
Forced to mate in 3 moves.
And then he says it's a forced mate in 3. But as far as I can tell, that's impossible, because on the next move, whether the bishop is on c4 or d3, any combination of the king being on g8 or h8, there's no mate. The queen is going to be captured next. The other thing I noticed is this is eerily similar to the very first game that was being played between Tolman and Noah. Like, this pawn structure is exactly the same. And so is this, and this, and this. There's a few differences, but I think it clearly came from the same game, or they just kind of set up the same position, shuffle some stuff around.
I win. Come and take a closer look. You'll see it.
And that's how the episode ends. Patrick solves the case and wins the chess game by hanging his queen. There's 2 more episodes of The Mentalist that feature chess, but I think it's better if we leave that for a part 2, as this video is kind of getting pretty long at this point. So make sure to hit subscribe if you want to see part 2, and as always, don't forget to leave your suggestions in the comments below. Thanks again to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video, and if you do want to sign up for your free trial, here is the link again and the QR code, or you can click the link in the description. I also want to thank all my patrons once again for their support. Patreon gets to see all my videos early, so if you want to join, click the link in the description there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.